Pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the national news on Rupavahini ChannelEye. We are coming to you live from the National News Studio. I'm Delanjali Ananda.
I'm Movin Hettiarachi and here are today's headlines.
A Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to make suitable recommendations over the disasters caused by New Diamond and Express Pearl vessels. Steps to revise the Value Added Tax Act from January 2024. Category 1 landslide warnings issued for several areas in the country. Verdict on the petition filed seeking to disqualify State Minister Diana Gamage from holding a parliamentary seat postponed until July 25th. Ukraine accuses Russian forces for destroying a major dam.
Now to those and more stories in detail on today's top stories. Speaker Mahinda Bevardhana, announcing the determination of the Supreme Court, said that several clauses in the proposed anti-corruption bill are inconsistent with the Constitution.
Announcement. I wish to announce to Parliament that I have received the determination of the Supreme Court in respect of the bill titled Anti-Corruption, which was challenged in Supreme Court in terms of Article 121(1) of the Constitution. The determination of the Supreme Court as to the constitutionality of the bill titled Anti-Corruption is as follows. Clauses 1, 21F, 22, 32, 41A, 41B, 43, 17(1), 21, 31(2), 163(2), H, 40, 48(3), 49(1), F, 51A, 53(1), 62(1), 65, 67(5), 71(6), and 8, 80, 93, 99, 101, 112, 149, 162 of the bill are inconsistent with the Constitution. However, these inconsistencies will cease if the amendments as set out in the determination of the Supreme Court are made to the bill. In addition to the said amendments, the Supreme Court has held that the learned Additional Solicitor General has informed the Court that amendments to the clauses 83, 83, 136, 141, 142 and 156 of the bill as set out in the determination will be made to address several concerns raised by the petitioner. I order that determination of the Supreme Court be printed in the official report of today's proceedings.
He also read out the determination of the Supreme Court pertaining to the proposed Provincial Council's Elections Amendment Bill.
I wish to announce to the Parliament that I have received the determination of the Supreme Court in respect of the bill titled Provincial Council's Election Amendment, which was challenged in the Supreme Court in terms of Article 121(1) of the Constitution. Subject to the proposed amendment to the Clause 3 and deletion of Clause 4 of the bill, the Supreme Court has determined that the bill or in any of its provisions is not inconsistent with the Constitution. I order that determination of the Supreme Court be printed in the official report of the today's proceedings.
The Speaker also informed the appointment of the Select Committee of the Parliament to investigate into and to make suitable recommendations relating to the disasters caused by the New Diamond and Express Pearl vessels in the maritime zone of Sri Lanka. The committee will be chaired by MP Dr. Ramesh Pathirana.
Now, Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena says the vaccination process has been maintained continuously even though the automatic vaccination machine at the Apeksha Hospital has been malfunctioned. He made these remarks during a media briefing held in Colombo today. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena said that the PET scan machine is still operational even though the automatic machine has been malfunctioned. Accordingly, he said that they are administering FDGs to the patients manually. He said that the FDGs are administered to the patients in the National Hospital as well as private hospitals manually. He pointed out that the authorities have ordered the cartridge required to the machine from the relevant company. However, he said that there is a delay in receiving the cartridge from the company. Minister Kehelia Rambukwala said that certain reports have claimed that massive commissions have been obtained to procure this machine. Refuting these claims, the minister said that the PET scan was received by the hospital as a donation, and the automatic vaccinations machine was a part of the donation.
Meanwhile, the cabinet approval has been granted to revise the Value Added Tax Act from January 2024. Cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawarthana said that the act will be revised with the aim to take several legal action against those who withhold VAT payments. He made these remarks while speaking at a media briefing held to announce the cabinet decisions. Minister Bandula Gunawarthana said that many people who are in the taxable parameters are not paying taxes. He said that the VAT cannot be claimed since bills are not issued at the PETA markets, where the large-scale wholesale trading activities are carried out with cash transactions. He also said that the government is taking measures to revise the bill to make tougher rules from January 2024 in order to avoid such occurrences pertaining to large-scale wholesale markets. The minister also said they have information regarding various importers have registered low-skilled labourers for VAT and registering companies from time to time. He added that the amendments to the bill will be passed, assuring those who are liable to pay taxes are compelled to make the relevant payments.
ඒවා රජයේ විසින් හොයාගෙන තිබෙන නිසා තමයි මේ වැට් බදු ගෙවිය යුතු මේ නීතියට අවනත විය යුතු අය එසේ නොවි ඒ පැහැරීම වැළැක්වීම සඳහා තමයි මේ සංශෝධනය ගෙනෙන්නේ.
Minister Gunawarthana also said that the resolution was tabled to establish an independent regulatory for betterment of cinema and television industry. The minister said that there is a common international recognition that the United Kingdom has a good reputation for assuring media freedom and protecting journalism in the country. He requested the assistance of the government in ensuring press freedom in the country through the same aspects as the UK.
The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal to reduce the maximum retail price of 60 medicines by 16% with effect from June 15. The price of medicines will be reviewed every 3 months. Considering the depreciation of Sri Lankan rupee compared to the US dollar, the Ministry of Health has given consent to escalate the maximum retail price of medicines up to 97% in several instances. The National Medicines Regulatory Authority is responsible for regulating all matters related to imposing prices of medicines. As a result of the economic stabilization program implemented by the government at present, the value of the US dollar has considerably declined. Therefore, Minister Keheliya Rambukwala tabled the relevant resolution to reduce the prices of the medicines. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval to withdraw the simplified value-added tax methodology with effect from January 1st, 2024. Accordingly, the legal draftsman has been instructed to prepare a draft bill to introduce a more formal methodology for repaying the value-added tax. Two major reformations with regard to the value-added tax or VAT should be introduced according to the comprehensive funding facility of the International Monetary Fund. Under that, removing most of the releases, the reformations of the value-added tax scheme and cancellation of the simplified value-added tax methodology should be applied.
National Building Research Organisation says Category 1 landslides warnings have been issued to several parts of the country. The NBRO has indicated that the landslide warnings have been issued to Pasara in Badula district, Alpitia, Neluwa, Nagoda in Gaul district and Valalavita, Agalavatta, Bulat Sinhala and Palindanuara Divisional Secretariat divisions in Kalutara district. The Met Department has said showers or thunder showers will be occurring at Western and Sabaragamu provinces in Gaul and Mathura districts. Heavy showers are likely to occur at some places in Sabaragamu province and Gaul, Mathura and Kalutara districts. Several spells of showers will occur at several places in Uva central provinces and Ampara and Batiklo districts during the evening or at night. Strong winds about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in northern, north central provinces and Hambantota, Puttalam and Trincomalee districts. The Met Department has further said that severe areas in the coast extending from Puttalam to Trincomalee via Mana and Kankasanture and from Hambantota to Potuville will be rough at times. Several areas including Dambara, Atabagas Handia, along with Bulat Sinhala main road have been inundated due to heavy showers. Reports have indicated that floods have caused disruptions to vehicular movements in these areas. With the ongoing flood situation, students sitting for GCE ordinary level examination were seen using boats to reach examination centres today. Sluice gates of the Kakuleganga in reservoir were opened this morning. Engineer in charge of the reservoir said the flood situation in low-lying areas will continue to persist due to water release from the reservoir. Director General of the Disaster Management Centre, retired Major General Sudhanta Ransinghe, speaking at a media briefing today, said that 17 divisions in 5 districts have been affected. Therefore, support of the Sri Lankan Navy has been acquired to transport students sitting for GCE ordinary level examinations to their relevant examination centres.
අද දින උදෑසන අපොද සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ විභාගයේ සමගාමීව දරුවන් පාසලට යෑමේදී මාර්ගයන් වලට ජලය පැමිණ තිබුණා. ඒ සියලුම ස්ථානයන් සඳහා අගුල් සහ නාවික හමුදා බෝට්ටු යොදවා දරුවන් පාසලට යාම සඳහා පාසල් වලට යාම සඳහා කටයුතු සිදු කරලා තියෙනවා. සියලුම ආපදා ලක්ව අයවලුන් සඳහා සහන සැලසීම ආහාර පාන ලබා දීම යන කටයුතු මේ වෙනකොට ආපදා සහන සේවා මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ වෙතින් ආරම්භ කළා තියෙනවා. ගංගා වශයෙන් ගත්තොත් කළුගඟේ මිල්ලකන්ද ප්‍රදේශයේ සාමාන්‍ය ගම් වතුර තත්ත්වයක් පෙන්වනවා. ඊට අමතරව නිල්වලා ගඟේ සාමාන්‍ය ගම් වතුර තත්ත්වයක් පෙන්වනවා. ගංගා දොරණි වල සිටින අයට අවධානය සිටිය යුතු බවට පරිමාර්ග දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවෙන් දැනුවත් කළා තියෙනවා.
Meanwhile, the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau has said that a 2.2 magnitude tremor has been reported from Gampal area. The residents of the area have claimed the tremor had occurred following a sound of an explosion. Chief of Staff to the President and National Security Advisor Sagala Ratnayake stresses that the crucial need for a constructive dialogue among the stakeholders of the Indian Ocean region to pursue SEAN interest.
He emphasized the significance of keeping big power rivalries and external conflicts out of the Indian Ocean. He made these remarks while delivering a special statement at the 20th IISS Shangri-La Dialogue, Asia's premier security summit held in Singapore. The summit was held from June 2nd to 4th. The keynote address of the summit was delivered by Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Representatives from many countries including India, France, the United States, Oman and Pakistan were present at the summit. Throughout the event, a series of plenary sessions delved into various crucial geopolitical issues encompassing the establishment of a stable and balanced Asia-Pacific, the resolution of regional tensions, the evolution of maritime security in Asia, US leadership in the Indo-Pacific and China's latest security initiatives, among other topics. On the sidelines of the Shangri-La Dialogue, National Security Advisor Sagala Ratnayake engaged in bilateral meetings with several high-ranking officials. He took the opportunity to pay a courtesy call on Singapore's Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan. During the meeting, he expressed Sri Lanka's keen interest in enhancing the partnership between the two countries with a particular focus on economic cooperation. Minister Balakrishnan reciprocated the interest and expressed enthusiasm for the economic focus areas discussed, which encompassed food security, renewable energy and the port and logistics sector, indicating a commitment to close collaboration in these domains. The Chief of Staff to the Sri Lankan President met with Secretary of the Department of Defence in Australia, Greg Morite. The discussion centred on maritime security, combating human smuggling and strengthening defence cooperation between Sri Lanka and Australia. Additionally, Mr. Ratnayake held a bilateral session with General Zahir Shamshad Mirza, Joint Chief of Staff Committee of Pakistan Armed Forces. Furthermore, the Sri Lankan National Security Advisor met with the Commander of the United States Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral John Arcolino.
The decision on petition field seeking a writ order to disqualify State Minister Diana Gamage from holding a parliamentary position has been postponed until July 25th by the Court of Appeal. The decision was scheduled to be announced today. The decision was announced by the Court of Appeal bench comprised of President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Nisanka Bandula Karunaratne and Justice A. Marika. Civil activist Oshala Rohirath filed the written petition against State Minister Diana Gamage. The petitioner is seeking a ruling that the State Minister was unqualified to serve as a Member of Parliament due to her British citizenship.
State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya says opening a tax file for all those who enter into politics will be made mandatory. The State Minister said that opening tax files for ministerial staff will also be made mandatory. The State Minister said that all 225 parliamentarians have opened tax files. He said that a proposal on how to promote taxation is being compiled to be presented to the President. He said that they have proposed to make it mandatory for those who enter into politics to open a tax file. He also said that opening tax files for ministerial staff will also be made mandatory. He added that all who are eligible to pay taxes will be required to open a tax file. He pointed out that the government aims to increase the indirect taxes to 40% while indirect taxes to 60% in line with the ratio seen in developed countries.
The Mojo Lanka Festival, celebrating the power of mobile journalism and digital storytelling, will be held in Colombo on June 24th and 25th. The two-day event is jointly organized by the USAID and International Research and Exchange Boards. Mojo Lanka expected to provide dynamic platform for journalists, storytellers and content creators to explore rapidly evolving landscape of mobile journalism. The festival will feature a series of panels, discussion with a mix of national and international experts. The festival feature Mojo Fest founder Glenn Mukherjee as the keynote speaker. Local and international experts will conduct masterclasses during the event, providing participants with a chance to learn about the nuances of Mojo's storytelling. Industry giants, including editor of the first BBC newsroom, David Hayward, is expected to join other industry professionals to discuss the increasing significance of mobile reporting.
Since 2017, through the MEN program, IREX, with the support of USAID, has been at the forefront in promoting mobile journalism in Sri Lanka. Mobile journalism is a common thread running through so many of our activities. Our citizen journalism program, Citizens Connect, is an initiative that equips budding citizen journalists with the tools to produce their own video stories, which are very often not covered in the mainstream media. Mobile journalism is something that is revolutionizing the news and information space in Sri Lanka. And IREX is very keen on promoting it, and Mojo Lanka is a two-day festival which will promote mobile journalism. The event has been many years in the making, and on June 24th and 25th, we are very excited to be welcoming journalists, content creators, students, and just about anyone who is interested in producing content on their mobile phones to come and learn from local and international experts. The event is free and open to the public, and there will be panel discussions, there will be talks, there will be workshops for people to come and really get a hands-on learning experience. We have a dedicated exhibition space where people will be able to watch videos made by some of our beneficiaries. They'll be able to test new equipment. The competition was launched in April of this year, and we got over 113 entries, which was extremely encouraging for us to see. On the last day of the event, which is June 25th, in the evening, we will be having an awards ceremony.
And we have Monies from home in brief. Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara said that the government has decided to implement the India-Sri Lanka grid connection by 2030. In a tweet, the minister said that the World Bank has been assisting to understand the technical requirements and business models to implement the project. The minister said that discussions were held yesterday over the plans related to the energy integration and renewable energy development with World Bank's Director of Regional Integration, Cecil Freeman, and Country Manager Shio Kanda. Venerable Akmimana Dayaratna Thera from Sinhala Rave organisation arrived at the parliamentary complex this morning to hand over a letter to the Speaker. The Thera requested the Speaker to take legal actions against parliamentarian Gajendra Ponnambalam for his unruly behaviour in misusing parliamentary privileges. A private steel manufacturing company mentioned that the price of steel has reduced by 50% compared to the previous year due to the depreciation of the dollar and fuel price drop. During a media briefing today, director of the company, Mahinda Ratnayaka Tennakon, said that the price of twisted steel cables have also been dropped by 50%. He pointed out that the price can be further reduced by 15% if the VAT can be withdrawn in future. Maldives Fisheries and Agriculture Minister Huzai Rashid Hassan and his delegation engaged in a discussion yesterday with Minister Douglas Devananda and State Minister Piyal Nishanta at the Fisheries Ministry. Sri Lanka Customs managed to uncover a collection of expensive items which had been imported from Dubai, falsely declaring as motor spare parts. The trader had attempted to release the container for a mere custom fee of 700,000 rupees for items worth 350 million rupees. Inspecting the seized container, the customs officials were able to find 3 motor cars, a large stock of cosmetics worth 150 million rupees, illicit cigarettes and foreign liquor. The customs have said that if these items went undetected, the tax revenue the government would have lost was about 220 million rupees.
Many programs prioritizing Amisa and Pratipatti Puja have been organized marking the Poson Poe Day. Kantale Poson Perahara paraded the streets last night. The procession was organized under the guidance of Chief Incumbent of Agrabodhi Viharya in Kantale, Venerable Agabopura Priyaratna Thera. The annual lantern exhibition organized by the Lunugala Attanagala group was held recently. Dansala was organized by parallel to the exhibition. The historic Polonnaruwa Daladam Perahara paraded the streets yesterday. The procession was organized after 4 years, included the 12 Tuskers and various traditional dancing troupes. The procession was jointly organized by Polonnaruwa District Secretariat and Farmer Community in the area. The Poson Perahara zone was held in the National Youth Services Council premises in Maharagama. It was titled Anbudu Vandana Poson Zone. A dansala has been conducted at the Lake House today. Photography division of the Lake House organized the dansala.
On foreign news, Ukraine military claims Russian forces blew up the Novakhovka dam in Kherson.
The Ukrainian authorities have begun operations to evacuate residents in several areas following the destruction of the large Soviet-era dam. However, Moscow installed officials in the Russian-controlled portion of the country's Kherson region, blaming the dam's destruction on Ukrainian shelling. The dam, 30 meters tall and 3.2 kilometers long, was built in 1956 in the Dnipro River. The Southern Command of the Ukraine's armed forces have said the large scale of destruction is being assumed as Ukrainian military has begun operations to evacuate people from villages in the right bank of the Dnipro River. About 16,000 people are in the critical zone on the right bank of the Kherson region. The Kherson's military administration added that 8 areas along with the Dnipro River have already been inundated. The Ukrainian Moscow installed mayor said that the dam had been hit by shelling, which he blamed on the Ukraine. The Soviet-era dam in the Ukraine Soviet-Russian part in the Kherson region could not be unleashed a flood across the war zone.
At least 42 people have died in Haiti after torrential rains caused widespread flooding during the weekend. Another 11 people are still missing and more than 13,000 are displaced after their homes were damaged. The worst hit city in Loghain, southwest of the capital Port-au-Prince, where 3 rivers burst their banks. Overall, half of all the departments in the impoverished Caribbean island nation are affected. There are fears that the number of dead will rise further. The Prime Minister said his government, together with the international partners, was taking urgent measures to deal with the disaster. The World Flood Programme said that the organization would start providing hot meals to those displaced. The country's infrastructure has been damaged by several devastating earthquakes. Rescue operations are made harder by Haiti's ongoing problem with criminal gangs and which control enemy areas.
Bangladesh to face further power cuts due to higher demand and fuel shortage sparked by shutdown of several power generating units, including the biggest coal-fired plant. Bangladesh has faced disruptions to electricity supply, with the soaring temperatures pushing up demand in April and a deadly cyclone cutting the supplies of natural gas to power plants in the following month. The 1.32 gigawatt power plant in Bangladesh's south has also closed second unit due to the coal shortage, having shut down one unit in May 25th. Bangladesh authorities have said the country is looking to restart the power plant by last week of June. The Weather Office has warned that the ongoing heavy heat wave is likely to continue for the rest of this week.
Now on sports news, the decisive final one-day international match between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will begin tomorrow in Hambantota.
Sri Lanka team participated in the last practice session today during the first match against Afghanistan. Pacer Matheesha Patharana and spinner Dushantha Hemantha made their international debuts for Sri Lanka. This is the last one-day match before Sri Lanka participates in the qualifying round of the ICC World Cup 2023. Sri Lankan team will compete against UAE, Oman, Scotland and Ireland in the qualifying rounds taking place in Zimbabwe in July. Tomorrow's match will be decisive for Sri Lanka to secure a series win against Afghanistan.
Now, Ukraine's Elena Sovitlina accused Belarusian Arina Sabalenka of encouraging French Open fans to boo her by waiting at the net for a handshake following their tense quarter-final.
Svitolina has not shaken hands with Russian opponents since Ukraine was invaded with support from Belarus. Before her loss in Sabalenka, Svitolina made clear she would again avoid it. It was a sour end too.
And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on ChannelEye. I'm Delanjali, together with Owen, signing off. Good night.
Good night.